How do you start a YouTube channel? In this video, I'm going to talk about how I started my channel, and I am going to talk about how to choose a niche, what equipment you need, and finally, learning the shooting and the editing process. Firstly, I want to say that I just started my channel about 1 month ago, and I have less than 100 subscribers and only a handful of videos. So I am not a YouTube expert, but I want to make this video and share this video because I'm in the very beginning of my YouTube journey and everything is still fresh for me. And I want to get that on camera and share it before it becomes an old faded memory, if that makes any sense. The first step to starting a YouTube channel is to figure out what you want to talk about or what type of content you want to make. So for some people, this can be really difficult. My wife, for example, and my friend Matt are both considering starting YouTube channels, and they have both struggled with this for well over a month now. And when I was studying to start my YouTube channel, one of the things that I saw a lot was it's okay to start a channel without a niche. It's okay to make 10, 15, 20 videos and then find your niche. So for me personally, it was an easy choice. I have a unique story going from prison to owning a pretty big company, so I decided to talk about that transformation, what changes I made to essentially live a different life, but not everybody's story is going to translate to content so clearly. But my personal advice is to make a list or a spreadsheet, start writing down ideas, pick your favorite 1 or 2 ideas, and shoot a video. And upload the video. It's not going to be perfect, but as soon as you get your first video, it's a lot easier to take that next step to get your second video, and then your third video, and find your niche as you move along. On to the next thing, which is going to be equipment. Personally, I recommend just starting with your cell phone. It's going to be a lot easier than going out and purchasing multiple cameras and lighting. When we first started, I was very fortunate in that I do own a company. I was able to invest a little bit of money into equipment, and we spent about $2,500 on a very budget-friendly setup. I started the channel this month, January of 2024, but I did all of my purchasing last month in December, so right before Christmas. I was on a tight budget, obviously, but I still will share what I bought just for reference. I picked up a new Canon T7 Rebel. It was recommended to me as a good camera for a beginner, and I am a beginner. And then I purchased two T5 Rebels. Those were used for additional angles. The total for all three cameras was about $1,100. I then got lighting off of Amazon for about $250, a microphone, actually two microphones for about $150, a recording device that was about $270, three tripods, SD card readers, extra camera batteries, chargers, a teleprompter, and that brought the total to about $2,500. I will share the links to what I purchased in the description below. And then I also got a tripod for my phone, and that came with a microphone and lighting, and that was about $150. It was made by a company called Rode. It's very good quality, and I actually shoot with it sometimes to get practice takes in just so I can get more comfortable on the camera. And the quality from that tripod stand in my iPhone 14 is honestly just as good as the Canon cameras, in my opinion, probably because I don't know how to use the Canon settings very well, so that's the most likely explanation. But if you're just starting out, you don't have a big budget, maybe give the tripod phone setup a try. I'll share the links to everything again in the description. And after you've chosen your content, figured out what type of equipment you're going to use, if it's going to be your cell phone or you're going to start purchasing cameras and lighting, the final thing to do is to start shooting. And I imagine that this is different for every person. Maybe you've been in front of a camera before and you're very comfortable. Maybe you just have one of those infectious personalities and you come across great on camera. Or maybe you are a total introvert. For me personally, I hate being on camera. When my wife and I go on vacation with the kids, I am the one taking the photos. I don't like being in photos. I don't like being in videos. I like to be the one taking the photos. I'm not sure why, I just don't enjoy it, and I'm not very comfortable on camera. So I may have had an advantage when it comes to my unique story, giving me a lot of content, and maybe I had an advantage in that, I was able to afford a lot of startup equipment, but I had a major disadvantage when it came to shooting because as soon as I sat down in front of this camera, I immediately just felt out of place. And I can say now, after shooting about 6, 7 videos, I am a lot more comfortable. I am a lot more confident. I think every time I shoot, I get just a little bit tiny better. And I think I see a light at the end of the tunnel after doing maybe 100 videos. I'll be a lot better. So my recommendation is, regardless of how good or bad you are, just to start shooting videos and not to worry too much about your niche. Don't worry too much about if you're just using your cell phone. Just get on camera and get some practice. The last thing I want to mention is editing. So we own a marketing company and we do employ graphic artists, and we actually have a really good videographer that works for the company, and he helped me pick out the equipment and do my initial setup, but he actually does the editing for me. If you're not familiar with Premiere Pro or other editing softwares that are out there, I would recommend learning them. With the resources that are on YouTube, I'd imagine if you spent just a few days, maybe a few hours each day, you could probably get the basic editing skills down. I work a lot owning a business, and then finding time just to squeeze in for shooting is already quite a bit. So we have our graphic artist who works for the company do the editing for us. But another option is to go on Fiverr. You can find good editors for as low as 20 bucks an hour. Anyways, in my opinion, that's what it takes to start a YouTube channel. Keep in mind that's based on my very limited experience. I hope that it helps. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe. Thank you, and I look forward to shooting more videos and sharing my story with you.